Goad as verb, to prod or urge someone into action, to provoke or stimulate someone to do something. The coach goaded his team into playing harder by giving them a pep talk. The audience goaded the comedian into telling more jokes by laughing at his routine. The protesters goaded the police into using excessive force by shouting insults and throwing objects. The teacher goaded the student into participating more in class by asking him direct questions. The manager goaded the employee into working harder by threatening to fire him. Moot as verb, the east or the direction in which the sun rises, to make a subject or question no longer relevant or applicable by rendering it academic or hypothetical. The committee voted to moot the proposal until further research could be conducted. The City Council decided to moot the issue of the new development until more information was available. The organization mooted the idea of expanding its services to reach more people in need. The team leader mooted the suggestion that they work on the project over the weekend to meet the deadline. The CEO mooted the possibility of merging with another company to increase profitability. Fell as verb, to cause to fall or bring down to the ground, to defeat, overthrow. The lumberjacks were hired to fell the trees in the forest. The hurricane had felled many of the trees in the park. The boxer was felled by a powerful punch to the head. The controversial decision felled the candidate's chances of winning the election. The company was felled by a sudden drop in demand for their products. Pith as verb, to cut out the central part of something, especially of a stem or shaft. To remove the soft, spongy substance in the center of a plant stem or fruit, such as a sugarcane stalk. He pithed the frog before dissecting it. The artichoke should be pithed before cooking. The apple was pithed to remove the seeds. The scientist pithed the plant stem to study its structure. The chef showed me how to properly pith the grapefruit.
Appease as verb, to bring to a state of peace or calm, especially by satisfying demands or needs, to pacify or soothe, especially by giving in to demands. The parents tried to appease their crying child with a lollipop. The government offered to appease the protesters by agreeing to some of their demands. The boss tried to appease the disgruntled employee by giving him a raise. The teacher appeased the students' frustration by extending the deadline for the assignment. The chef tried to appease the customer by offering to prepare a special meal.
Excoriate, to make something last longer or go further, often with difficulty. To supplement or extend with difficulty. They were able to eke through the month by cutting back on expenses. She had to work extra hours to eke out a living wage. He managed to eke by on a shoestring budget while he looked for a new job. The company was able to eke out a profit by reducing costs and increasing efficiency. The team was able to eke out a victory in the final minutes of the game. Verb, to compete or contend with someone, often with the aim of achieving superiority or mastery. To strive or struggle to attain something, often through competition with others. The two companies are vying for the same market share. The musicians are vying for a chance to perform at the music festival. The students are vying for the top grades in the class. The contestants are vying for the grand prize in the cooking competition. The political candidates are vying for the support of the voters in the upcoming election. Excoriate as verb, to denounce or reprimand vehemently, usually involving strong disapproval or condemnation. To strongly criticize or censure someone or something, often in a severe or harsh manner. The journalist was quick to excoriate the government's handling of the crisis. His speech aimed to excoriate the unfair treatment of marginalized communities. The public began to excoriate the company for its environmental negligence. The movie critic proceeded to excoriate the film for its lack of originality. She decided to excoriate the restaurant for its poor service in her review. Denigrate as verb. Depreciate or diminish the value of something. Speak badly or insult someone or something. Blacken or tarnish reputation. He denigrated his opponent's reputation during the campaign. The critic denigrated the artist's latest work in his review. She felt denigrated by her boss's harsh criticism. The company's competitors denigrated their products in order to gain an advantage. The social media post denigrated an entire group of people based on their ethnicity. Circumscribe as verb. To draw a line around or enclose something within a boundary. To limit or restrict something within a certain range or scope. The court's decision was circumscribed by the legal precedent in the case. The authority circumscribed the area that was affected by the contamination. The rules of the competition circumscribe what athletes can and cannot do during the event. The company's policy circumscribes the use of personal devices in the workplace. The artist's creativity was circumscribed by the limited materials available to her. Buttress as verb. To provide evidence or arguments in support of a claim or idea. To support or strengthen something, often by providing additional resources or assistance. The wall was buttressed with heavy stones to support its weight and prevent collapse. The arguments presented in the essay were buttressed with strong evidence and logical reasoning. The company's financial position was buttressed by a recent investment from a venture capital firm. The political party's position was buttressed by the support of influential leaders and organizations. The athlete's training was buttressed by a strict diet and exercise regimen, leading to improved performance.
Besmirch as verb. To defame or tarnish the reputation or integrity of someone or something. To sully or soil the good name or reputation of someone or something. The politician was accused of besmirching the reputation of his opponent with false allegations. He refused to besmirch his friend's name by spreading rumors about him. The journalist was criticized for besmirching the character of a public figure without proper evidence. The company was accused of besmirching the environment with its toxic waste disposal practices. She felt that her reputation had been besmirched by the malicious gossip of her colleagues. Gainsay as verb. To challenge or contest the accuracy of a statement or claim, to dispute or contest a decision or ruling. The evidence presented in court was too strong to be gainsaid. The company's financial report cannot be gainsaid, it clearly shows a loss. I cannot gainsay the fact that she is a talented singer. He tried to gainsay my argument, but I had solid evidence to back it up. There is no gainsaying the importance of education in one's life.
Castigate as verb. It can also mean to punish or discipline as a form of correction. Criticize or reprimand severely. The teacher castigated the students for not completing their homework on time. The boss castigated the employees for their poor performance, threatening to fire them. The coach castigated the team for their lackluster effort during the game. The critic castigated the film for its poor plot and acting. The parent castigated the child for breaking the vase, scolding them harshly. Venerate as verb. To regard with great respect or reverence. To honor or worship. To regard with great respect or reverence. To revere or honor. Many cultures venerate their ancestors as a way of honoring their legacy. The fans venerated the musician as a musical genius. The religious leader was venerated for their spiritual guidance. The historic monument was venerated as a symbol of national pride. The scholar was venerated for their contributions to the field of mathematics. Crystallize as verb, to become clear or defined, to solidify into a crystalline form. It took several months of research and experimentation to crystallize the new theory. The decision to move to a new city finally crystallized after they visited and fell in love with the area. The political unrest in the country was the catalyst that crystallized the need for change. Her thoughts and ideas finally crystallized after she took a long walk in nature and had time to reflect. The plans for the project began to crystallize after several meetings and brainstorming sessions with the team.
Desecrate as verb, to treat something holy or revered with disrespect or irreverence, to violate the sanctity of a sacred place, object, or monument by damaging, destroying, or profaning it. The protesters threatened to desecrate the government building if their demands were not met. The vandals tried to desecrate the church by spray painting the walls. The soldiers were ordered not to desecrate the tombs of their fallen enemies. The locals were outraged when they found out that someone had desecrated the war memorial. The museum had to increase security measures to prevent anyone from attempting to desecrate the exhibits.
Preempt as verb, to take action in advance of an expected event or situation in order to prevent it from happening or to control its outcome. To take the place of something or someone, especially by having priority or priority rights. The company preempted the release of the new product by releasing their own version first. He preempted any criticism by admitting his mistake. The president preempted any opposition by announcing his decision on national TV. They preempted the strike by offering higher wages and better working conditions. The government preempted any potential security threats by increasing security measures. Precipitate as verb, to cause a reaction or an event to occur suddenly or unexpectedly, often as a result of a buildup of tension or stress. To cause a substance to separate out of a solution as a solid, usually due to a change in temperature, pressure, or chemical reaction. The manager's decision to fire the employee was precipitated by a series of complaints from customers. The conflict between the two countries was precipitated by a border dispute. The company's financial troubles were precipitated by a failed investment. The athlete's injury was precipitated by overtraining and not enough rest. The student's poor grades were precipitated by a lack of studying and preparation. Attenuate as verb, to make something less severe or intense, to weaken the force, intensity, or effect of something. The sound of the music was attenuated by the thick walls of the building, making it barely audible from the outside. The medication can attenuate the symptoms of the disease, reducing their severity and duration. The company decided to attenuate the production of a certain product due to low demand and high costs. The trees attenuated the force of the wind, protecting the nearby buildings from damage. The filter attenuates the noise in the audio recording, improving its quality and clarity. Ready to boost your English? Meet our vocabulary app, the fun and effective way to master the language. Books learn advanced words with examples and audio. Direct hit master idioms, proverbs, and phrasal verbs. Video game enjoy quizzes, flashcards, and pronunciation tests. Glow showing Europe, Africa translate into 100+ languages, all in one app. Did you learn new words? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my channel. Download now and start your journey to vocabulary mastery.